Hello, welcome to the Katrina Johnson Show. I'm your host, Katrina Johnson. You can find me at katrinajohnson.online. Thank you for joining me today. I have a great show for you. Be sure to share and subscribe to my podcast. And without further ado, let's get into today's show. But before we do that, let's have a word from our sponsor. Hello, and welcome back to the Katrina Johnson Show. Today, we're talking about consequences and what to do to make good choices. This is season 1, and our topic has been for the past several weeks, choices. I want to start off today by defining consequences. It is defined as a natural result that flows from something else. Example, a child who chooses to disobey their parents. The consequence to that would be that the child gets grounded. The consequence to breaking the law, which 9 times out of 10, though we don't want to admit it, is a choice, could be that you face a fine or you face jail. What about if a person chooses to pay their bills on time? The consequence to that would be a positive one. That means that this person's credit score will be high because they paid their bills on time. So again, we have to be cognitive of the fact that whatever choices we make, there will be some type of consequence. And the choices we make that are poor, we need to own up to those mistakes. And owning up to the mistakes is one way we can put ourselves in the position to not make the same mistakes again. Quite often we find ourselves making choices that are based on emotions without any thought to logic. Like when we are upset, we might want to binge on our favorite food, ice cream, cookies, junk food. Or we might want to go shopping and just go on a shopping spree, not giving thought to the purchases that we're making. Or we get impatient or anxious and we make decisions without considering the ramifications. For the moment, it feels gratifying. That chocolate cake, that beautiful outfit that you just bought. But in the end, we face the aftermath and then we ask ourselves, what was I thinking? So we need to understand that consequences of our choices can be like the domino effect. For instance, if I choose to go to the grocery store without a list, the domino effect could be that I forget to buy items that I need, which will cause me to have to go back to the store to get the items, which will then take away time that I could have spent doing something else. Domino effect. Today, I want to help you to make better choices that can result in positive consequences. Here is what not to do. Do not make a decision when you feel vulnerable. A little while ago, or a while back, several years ago, I was sick with a bad sinus infection. And at that time, I felt very vulnerable. I don't know why. I don't ever remember feeling sick and feeling vulnerable, but at this time I was. And I was going through a lot at that time too, so that added to it. And I was about to make a major decision that I would have not even considered if I wasn't in that frame of mind. If I wasn't feeling vulnerable. The consequence to that decision had I went through with it, would have stunted my personal growth. I know for sure it would have. Next, do not make a decision when you when you lack motivation. Doing something simply because you have to do it will sometimes work, but the results will not be as effective as if you had done it when you were motivated to do it. And I do understand that we may not always feel motivated, and not every decision requires motivation. But there are situations that do require a level of motivation. For example, if I wanted to write a book, I'm not going to write it if I am not motivated, because I get my creativity from being motivated. And I recognize that I need creativity to write. Now, there are things that we can do to make good choices. And I am going to share with you some tips and what to do to make good choices. First, do pray. For me, when making a decision, I first pray. You know you are making a good choice when you've prayed and meditated on what you want, because you'll begin to move in the direction to bring whatever you desire to pass. I know this to be true firsthand, and I'm going to repeat that. You know when you're making a good choice when you've prayed and meditated on what you want, because you'll begin to move in the direction to bring whatever you desire to pass. The next thing that you can do in order to make good choices is do make decisions when you are motivated, because when you are motivated, you are conscious of your decision-making process. Therefore, you will make better choices and in return, be satisfied with the outcome. Next, do make decisions when you have clarity about what you want or need to do. Because when we are mindful of our choices, we put ourselves in a better position to have positive consequences. Another thing you can do to make good choices, do use both sides of your brain. Now, I'm not a scientist, but I have read and researched some things, and the right side of your brain is considered your emotional intelligence side. And the left side is the logical side. We need both to have balance. One of the main reasons I am big on motivation and inspiration is because it helps me to have that balance between emotion and reason. Not to mention, it activates dopamine, that happy feeling, which we all need to be motivated. Also, do visualize what you want. If you take the time to really think about what it is that you want and then write it down or create a vision board, and I spoke about this in a previous episode, you can reflect back on your notes or vision board to guide you to make choices that will bring you exactly what you want. I have experienced this as well. So I am speaking to you from experience. And last but not least, something else I've mentioned, follow peace. Some say go with your gut, follow your intuition, however you want to put it. To do this, you need to quiet the chatter inside your head as well as from others and go with that surface feeling, that sense of knowing that you know that you know, that feeling of excitement or relief. That is what I call following peace. I don't find that I've ever gone wrong when I follow peace. Making good choices begins with being clear about what you want and knowing what you don't want. It is then that you will have positive consequences. The power to make good choice is within you, so choose wisely. What will you do today to start making better choices?
Let's keep the conversation going by emailing me at katrina@katrinajohnson.online. That's katrina@katrinajohnson.online. So grateful that you joined me on this episode. Remember, information plus inspiration equals transformation. And until next time, stay inspired.